Revelation 2747. From the 20th of May 1943. Admonition to love. Necessity of the time. It is the order of the day that you give love to each other, for the suffering on earth will be so great that you will only be able to reduce it if one helpfully supports the other. If you make love your guiding principle in life, the less you think of yourselves, the more you put your self-love aside, the sooner you will be able to banish suffering, for if you stand in love you will no longer need it for your development and God can take it away from you. People's hearts are hardened, they no longer take an interest in their fellow human beings' fate, they pass it by untouched, and their souls suffer from too much self-love which, however, is a spiritual regression. As long as the soul still had a bound will it had to be of service and was thereby able to ascend, so that free will was given to it in its last embodiment on earth. It should use this free will again to be of service. It should serve out of love and thereby redeem itself. For the previous state of compulsion could not bring her final liberation, even if it brought her considerably closer to the goal. But now it has the opportunity to free itself from its shackles if it shapes itself into love, if it serves of its own accord, if this impulse is love for its fellow human beings. But love has grown cold among people, and therefore a constant battle is their lot, a battle on a large as well as a small scale. A battle of unkindness against each other. Everyone only seeks his own advantage. Everyone only seeks to satisfy his own ego, and this also results in complete ignorance, in a lack of faith, because the human being can only recognize when he is in love. He is in a chaos of thoughts and cannot find a way out of it, he doesn't know what he should and can believe, he has no ability to judge, and therefore he rejects everything he is asked to believe because self-love makes him incapable of recognizing the truth. And this is a state of extreme danger which results in unspeakable suffering and misery, because such alone can only change the human being, because it can educate him to love if he is not completely hardened in mind and only allows himself to become even more embittered. The desire for the world and its goods is the cause of perverse love in the human being, of self-love which ignores the welfare of fellow human beings. Where this desire is overcome, self-love also diminishes. The human being renounces earthly goods in order to give them to his fellow human being, and his state becomes freer and lighter. For it is not difficult for him to believe as soon as he practices love. And the great misery on earth can only be banished through love. It can also be reduced for the individual if he is active in love, because God alone determines through his will what is granted to the individual. The human being who unconsciously makes contact with God through activity in love is no longer defenselessly exposed to those who indirectly caused the suffering. God himself takes care of him and he turns the suffering to good account if it has fulfilled its purpose. That it has educated people into loving activity and changed their wrong life into eager, unselfish loving activity. Look within yourselves and recognize the need of the time. Know that only unkindness is the cause of all suffering and that you can only remedy the latter if you change yourselves. For without love you cannot redeem yourselves, without love you cannot become blessed. God as the eternal love can only be close to you if you become a love yourselves, and eternal bliss is only conceivable in closeness to God if his love seizes you and can make you happy. Amen.